Once again, this is Dr. Daniel Ageri standing for Mediterranean Survival for African Migrants Worldwide. Every day we keep on making campaign how African continent will be good, where every people who are from black race can come to Africa and establish to improve African continent so that at the end of the day, we will not be suffering in the Western world or other parts of the world and the Asian continent. Today, what is happening in African continent is something that is not good at all. You know, whenever you hear, first of all, I have to introduce Mediterranean Survivor for African Migrants Worldwide because we fight against xenophobia. And this is xenophobia has been a very serious issue in African continent, whereby Africans are against Africans. They are fighting against their brothers and sisters who come from one part of Africa or the other to develop other African continents so that Africa will be better. For instance, now so many things are happening, like something that happened in Ghana, South Africa, and some of the African countries, even in Nigeria, whereby other people will come from another part of Africa country to develop the other areas. But at the end of the day, the so-called indigenous who have never traveled out, who doesn't know what they call development or something like that, will be coming against them by saying that they want to grab their land and they want to take their land. You know, that they are either they are taking their jobs, they are taking their women, they are taking this or that, and most of the people who are doing all these things have never even asked themselves one thing. Before in the olden days, you see that people from Lebanon, when they come to African continent, they have a community, they establish factories, they build this thing, they gather their brothers and sisters, and they start producing something, and they are using our people as slaves. Some of the African countries, and the indigenous never complained. Okay, what of the Chinese, who always have their Chinese town, wherever they go, they organize a place, and in some of the African countries or anywhere in the world, they have their own Chinese city where they gather together, make their business, and they import from their country, and they never employ the so-called indigenous. They bring their people from their country so that they will, whatever they manufacture in their country, they will bring it to the other listen, and they make sure that it's their people that is working there, and they will be selling. No African individual or indigenous who are making this noise have ever complained. The Indians, the same thing. Even in UK, they have Indian community whereby the India, they have their own culture, they have whatever they do, and they produce things, and whatever they do it, build their own house and make their own culture to, come out. Nobody have ever complained, even down there in America. But when I hear people that this man wants to grab land, he wants to bring kingdom around this thing, who have done this to African continent? They respect the white skin than their own brothers who want to come and develop their countries, their own country, so that all the people in African country will not be going through Mediterranean Sea, dying in the sea. They have great jobs, develop areas, so that at the end of the day, will be African continent. We will not be going trying to do whatever we want to do by going through desert, going through a Mediterranean Sea, or going all sorts of ways just to escape poverty. You know, because somebody wants to build something and he did not steal the land. He never forced anybody to sell his land to him, for him to develop or something like that. Now, the Igbos are doing this. Igbos wants to grab land and do this or that. It is a shame. We the Africans, but we prefer giving our land to people from other continents, the Western world, the Chinese, and the Indians, and the people from Lebanon or Arab people. whenever they come and grab. For instance, there are so many videos in Mediterranean page. What happened some time ago, where some the Chinese are being beat, treating blacks in their own country as slave. Nobody have ever come out and say such a thing. I'll come out and complain. But now some of the African countries, hey, Nigerians, this and that. They never mention India. They never mention Chinese. They never mention Lebanon, Lebanese people. They never mention about Indians. They never mention all these people who come and establish in African countries. But today, Africans are killing Africans. Today, Africans are demonstrating against Africans. It is a shame. And that is what they call the xenophobia. So they prefer the people who have other skins to come and enslave them than their brothers to come and develop their countries. We keep on making this video, and in part 2, we will show you around that we, the Africans, we prefer other foreigners to enslave us than our own brothers to come and develop our country. Once again, this is Dr. Daniel Akere, standing for Mediterranean Survival for African Migrants. God bless you and bye-bye.